What's going on, Aurora Alliance, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars video. Now today, I am going to be asking the question, can Kylo Ren be redeemed? So first of all, Adam Driver's Kylo Ren is one of the most interesting aspects of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Part of why he is so compelling, beyond Driver's intense performance as a confused young Force user torn between two worlds, is because we just don't know where the character is going to wind up in the future films. His struggle to find his true path could send him into the abyss that is the dark side of the Force, or he may yet wind up realising the error of his ways and betraying his master Snoke. But I've been wondering, if the latter direction is how Ren's story winds up playing out, can we, the audience of the Star Wars fanbase, ever really forgive him for his sins? When I walked out of my first screening of The Force Awakens, one of the initial thoughts I had was that Kylo Ren had already been rendered irredeemable in the eyes of Star Wars fans. Despite his struggle with the good in him, despite being the son of Han Solo and Leia Organa, the fact remained that he had ruthlessly killed Han, one of the most popular characters not just in the Star Wars universe, but in modern pop culture. How could audiences ever accept Kylo Ren as anything but a villain after that? And even if they could, should they? It's the audience's love of Han and of Harrison Ford that would seem to be the chief obstacle to our forgiving Ren. By the end of Return of the Jedi, most of us forgave Ren's grandfather, Anakin Skywalker, for the atrocities that he had committed. The murder of countless innocents, his complicity in the destruction of Alderaan, his slaughter of his fellow Jedi, and so on. But really, those victims were generally not characters we cared about or even saw, let alone Han Solo. The murder of Han is something entirely different. Last month, IGN's Gav Murphy asked Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams about Ren and why he idolizes Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, so much. After all, Vader eventually turned good, but Ren is striving to turn fully bad. He is almost the opposite of Vader in that regard. In that while Anakin fought to reclaim the good in himself, Ren seeks to eradicate the light that is still lurking within. Abrams responded that Ren doesn't idolize Anakin so much as he does what Vader represents and what he is trying to do. The idea that Vader didn't succeed, if you look at it from Ren's point of view, he was seduced by the enemy, and failed because of that seduction. And so the idea is that Ren wants to complete the thing that Vader started. For Ren, Vader was seduced by the enemy, and that enemy was Luke, Vader's own son, from Ren's perspective. It was that love between father and son that ruined Vader's plans, his decades-long dominance of the galaxy as a Sith Lord. Is it any wonder that a key step in the slide towards darkness for Ren would be to destroy his own father, to try to snuff out the love that could potentially ruin, once again, the dark side's ascension? But here's the thing, many people have come to realise that it's that very same love that could be the trick to not just Ren's redemption, but to the audience's acceptance of the same. And it all comes down to Han Solo's final act. After his son, who he hadn't seen in years, who had betrayed his family and his fellow Jedi, and become a murderer in essentially everything Han, Luke and Leia fought against for decades, stabbed him through the heart, Han's response was to simply put his hand on his boy's face. With his last breath, he reached out to his son once more. Han was dead by Ren's hand, but his love was not so easily destroyed. Just like every other Star Wars fan out there, I have no idea how the rest of the saga will play out, but I wouldn't be surprised if that final moment of compassion and love from Han Solo will haunt Kylo Ren moving forward. He won't be able to outrun it, and eventually it will save him despite everything he's done. There is still good in Kylo Ren, his father could feel it. In the end, Han didn't give up on his boy, and Ren knows it. And if Ben Solo is redeemed because of Han's love, then how can we not forgive him as well? Especially when that redemption would unfortunately be Han Solo's final act as a hero. So that is roughly what I think and what many people seem to believe will probably happen to Kylo Ren throughout the rest of the saga, but maybe he will just keep going down the dark side path, and maybe he will end up in an Emperor Palpatine sort of situation where he is just completely filled with the dark side and there is no way to come back from it. Let me know down in the comments section what you actually think about this, and smash a like if you have enjoyed this video. Subscribe to be kept up to date with all things Star Wars, and may the Force be with you.